Yelling might feel powerful in a moment, but it actually means the adult just lost the lead. Real authority looks very different. The most powerful person in a room is usually the calmest one. Many of us were taught that authority equals influence. And when our child is behaving in a way that we don't like, it feels that we're losing that authority and therefore influence over our child. We fear that if we are too calm, too gentle, too soft, our child will read it as weakness and will walk all over us. But real change doesn't start with control, and children, they don't follow power. They follow regulation. And regulation is something you can't fake with stricter rules or louder voice. If we haven't met yet, my name is Nina. I'm a special education teacher, early intervention provider, and a mom of five. And what I've learned over the years of providing support to children with special needs and their families, that children don't change their behavior because we control them. They change the behavior because they feel regulated next to us. Logically, it makes sense. When our child is showing problem behaviors, that we want to change something about the child. More control, more putting our foot down, more authority. And while most of us were taught to look at the child when something is happening with him, I want to share something that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Not because it's bad or wrong, it's because it requires us to look in a new place. While most of us were taught to look at the child first, which makes total sense. When something feels hard, we naturally look at what's most visible. But lasting change in a child's behavior doesn't come from trying to control them harder. It comes from becoming more grounded, more calm, more certain ourselves. This isn't about blame, this is about influence. I know this not only from professional experience, but from personal experience as well. When one of my children struggled severely during the early teen years, my first reaction as a new teen mom was to jump in to fix them, take them to therapy, separate them from toxic friend group, remove them from the activities that I believed were harmful or bad influence. But none of those things worked until this whole situation forced me to look in a very uncomfortable place, which is my own state. And then I realized I was parenting from a deep state of fears, intolerance, my own lack of acceptance of my child. And that was affecting their behavior more than anything else. And when I started to address those feelings, amazing things began to happen. And once again, this is not about the blame. A family is one ecosystem, and when one person finds their ground, it affects everyone, especially our children, because they look at us for safety and regulation. And here's the key. Children don't change just because we want them to. They change because their nervous system feels something different in us. And that could be hard because it asks of us more than just techniques and strategies. It asks us to slow down, regulate, and lead with presence instead of pressure. And it asks of us to address our own fears of losing control, address our own trauma and self doubt. It might seem that power looks loud, firm, and dominant. But let's face it, this type of force just creates compliance, and it only works when we're watching. But long term, children don't follow fear, they follow safety. But the most powerful person in the room is the calmest one, whose nervous system is regulated. They are the ones who set the emotional tone. Another good news is that when you shift first, your child doesn't have to work so hard. You send a signal to them that their body have been waiting for. You know this. Anybody can overpower a child. It doesn't take a skill to escalate, but it takes a lot of skill and effort to stay calm and steady. So next time your child feels dysregulated, don't rush to fix, to correct, to explain. First, pause for 5 seconds. Place your feet on the ground, take a deep breath, and find your center. Then go to them from this place of calm, because their nervous system is constantly scanning, am I safe? When your body settles first, their nervous system has something to organize around. This is not about never getting overwhelmed in your life. This is about practicing to returning to yourself. Leadership doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you are willing to calm yourself first. It also is not about being nice or permissive. It's about understanding that you have the tools and the skills to improve the situation. The child doesn't yet. It's about influence and responsibility to lead without force, without struggles. Because force creates compliance, but calm creates influence. And when an adult is able to lead from that place, behavior will improve. Not because the child is controlled, but because now they feel safe enough to grow. Calm is not the absence of power, it's the highest form of it. Thank you for watching.